Stealth on X says, during their PAX East panel, it was announced that Jeff Grubb and Jeff Bakalar bought Giant Bomb. Jan Ochoa, Mike Minotti, and Dan Ryckert are staying part of the team. They are completely independent now. This is a win for independent game journalism. Now, my takeaway from this situation right here is how it seems how they're trying to, what's the word? Create a narrative.
Yeah, it's narrative control.
With the post where they're like, oh, hey, here's the information. Here's why it's a good thing, just to try to guide the conversation below this, guys. And that didn't work at all as what I saw underneath it, where I posted. I was one of the first people to post, which I've been following Stealth. I think Stealth follows me back too. Yep, and still does. And I'm like, Stealth is someone who posts news, typically Nintendo centric, and they're typically a pretty good follow, but they do have their slant on the approach of the industry, as we see right here, which kind of tips their hand to everyone. And I said, Jeff Grubb stole our story, played it off as his own, and never credited Grums or myself. I'd argue these are the very people independent creators are fighting against. But hey, potato, potato. It doesn't work with text, but
potato, yeah.
I know. They failed for a reason. I do not see this ending any different for them this time. And Grums replied, they should get good at making videos or it's going to be tough. They can try for the second win model, but they don't have a Yahtzee. And I said, yep, I'd say I wish them the best, but, and there's other posts.
It's very interesting seeing Grums here because, I watched a little bit of that South Park special about World of Warcraft. And I saw a character in the Blizzard team, and it looks an awful lot like Grums. I know it released in 2006, and he left in 2005. But, yeah, it was striking. Looked Asian, had the glasses. I put two and two together. So technically, Grums is in South Park.
Oh, that's awesome. I never even put two and two together on that. That's funny. So the next place I heard it was Wario64. And he said, Giant Bomb is now independent. Giant Bomb has new owners. And you're looking at them, Jeff Grubb. And this is them on stage at PAX East, which I have many questions. This is curious. They just got fired, as far as I understand, lost their job in the industry, and have a panel at a major convention the following week. Why? They have no position anymore. They have no power in the industry anymore. Why are they on? Like, that's my first thought. But okay, whatever. Maybe it was to announce this. Okay, that being the case, you want to know where this gets wild? Is because typically Wario 64 is just very like information based. People who follow him know it's like, oh, here's the deals, here's the news of the industry. And if he left it at this, I would have been like, okay, he's just giving the news of something that happened. But what he followed this up with was very, very, we'll just say, propaganda, marketing, slanted to push their cause. You ready for this?
Sure.
As an independent entity now, we can say that all support that we receive from you will go directly towards maintaining and growing Giant Bomb and paying the fine folks that you see on our programming week after week. And then gives the link to their join and gives an advertisement for joining and paying them. And I'm like, this is getting a little bit weird. This is getting a little bit weird, especially when we zoom in on what the image that was shared. Here it is, talking about everything. We want your money. This is great. We need your money. Give us money. But for real, this is a big risk we're taking. And keeping Giant Bomb alive is going to rely on the support of the community. As an independent entity now, we can say that all support that we receive from you will go directly towards maintaining and growing Giant Bomb and paying the fine folks that you see on our programming week after week. So I will press X to doubt on much of what they say there, but whatever. They're allowed to do it. Whatever. It's
They're
okay.
pulling yeah, exactly. They're pulling a second wind, and
Yep.
they have a sponsor in Wario 64. Folks, for the most part, turning this into a business is incredibly difficult. And even if you achieve it, it will take years, and for some creators, decades to fully sustain yourself. Never mind others.
Well, the craziest part about this is, dare I say, the audacity. I know Giant Bomb's been around for a while, but it also spiraled down the drain to its ultimate demise because there was not enough support for it. The public had spoken and said, yep, we've moved on. We don't want to support this anymore. And it died. That's my understanding of the situation. So for them to, like a week later, not even, be like, hey guys, it's back. We bought it and now it's owned by us. Pay us money. I'm like, but you're asking the same people that didn't support you the first time to now spend money where they weren't spending it before. Now they need to spend money to get the content from you where they didn't have to do that before. And the pricing structure is, dare I say, ludicrous. This is absolute insanity. The greed is crazy here.
Point of reference, Smash. What's your membership, your join thing? I know you have different tiers, but
everything on my channel is free and available for everyone when it's live. I don't hide anything behind memberships or anything. After it's live, I have a benefit for members to access that content if they're a channel member. And chances are, if you show up to my stream, you don't even need to buy a membership because we have so many generous people gifting shit tons of memberships all the time. So it's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy of just being here. You'll be able to access that stuff anyways. But $5 a month.
Okay. I mean, for me, it's just like a low level dollar pound a month, and you get access to a few emojis and milestones.
Oh yeah, the emojis thing too. Good point. The emojis is another part of it.
Just as like a basic level, because I've got enough things to do. I do mine as like the most competitive, the lowest membership price of the Bigot-verse. Try to get it that way because I'm a quantity based creator. But the aim and objective of Giant Bomb will lead it to be a giant bomb. It's its namesake. We know
but it
how
already
it's going
did.
in.
That's the thing. It already did Giant Bomb, and now it's back again. And instead of being free and available, now it's costing money. How is that? It's going the wrong way. Like, how is that going to be something that people embrace?
Well, if Jeff Grubb did buy this, right, because he is the centerpiece of this, he does have a YouTube channel. It does get viewership, whether we like to admit it or not. It does.
Not very much, though. Not very much. I get more viewership than he does. Think about that.
Building a brand around Giant Bomb is one thing. Turning it into a business is another. Look at Reality Based as an example. It is a logo and a name, okay? Which is like branding for the channel. That's what Giant Bomb should be to Jeff Grubb. No more and no less. And all this price pointing and memberships and exclusivity access is the wrong way to go about it, because that will not lead to success in the long term. Look at Second Wind as a comparable analysis. You think Smash is paying me to be on this show? If hosts paid their guests or regulars, the entire ecosystem would collapse in on itself. So if we operated as creators as the opposition does, we wouldn't grow, we wouldn't prosper as communities. We would grow as individuals, but not as communities.
I would piggyback on that and add to it that it's not that if we did that, we wouldn't grow as creators. I would say that what they're doing here, you could almost argue, is the old way of doing business. It's like, this is not how it works anymore. Like, sure, I'm sure you're going to get support. I'm sure they'll get people that will sign up for $100 a year. I wouldn't be surprised if they made $10,000 today. I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe 20,000. It really wouldn't blow my mind. How's that going to support? How many people did we talk about here? This was 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people. It's not like, the only way it could work is they do this and they say they're independent, and then they get an external investor to join in on it and then sell a portion off and become an entity and a corporation, which goes right back into what they left in the first place, because they are not sustainable independently with what they're doing right now. This is not financially viable.
So 5 people, 20 grand each. That's 100 grand a year. That's just them. That's just labor costs, for lack of a better term.
Oh, and good point. Black Hatchet Production just says, just notice $99 a year doesn't offer anything special. That's a great point.
That's why I don't have anything more than just one low-level tier, so that people, if they want to gift memberships, they gift memberships. And it's easier to count one as one rather than... Yeah, go on.
I was just going to say, this is a really good point too. They're aiming to get sponsors and 100% ad revenue. That's a great point. They say they're independent, but then it's going to be sponsorship and support from external areas. And here's the thing. Like I said on my comment to Grums, I would say I wish them well, except for how Jeff Grubb has treated me historically. My mentality is, fuck this guy. I hope it crashes and burns, because I do not like this person. I think he is one of those out for himself, and if you're not with him, you're against him. He looks at you like, I would almost describe Jeff Grubb as the male version of Alyssa Mercante. He does a better job at hiding the aggression, but it's all still there, and I think that's exactly why he gets along with her so well. With that being the case, though, this is a situation where they are embarking on a journey, and I will definitely be keeping an eye on it, but at the same time, only for the popcorn entertainment perspective and purpose. I don't foresee this becoming even a Second Wind. Like, I think it will be a shell of what Second Wind is, and Second Wind is failing right now. So I don't know how I think this is going to be something that
they'll be as independent as a NASCAR team. Have you ever seen a NASCAR team without sponsors and advertisers and the drivers? Because I've seen with Cody, I think it's Cody.
You mean Camelot?
Yeah, the name.
You mean Camelot?
Yes, Camelot. I was going to call him Camel Cast for some reason. Yeah, Camelot and his NASCAR journey. It's great to see how he's developed over the years. But you can see it, the sponsors and the designs and the logos is fantastic. But yeah, Giant Bomb will be as independent as a NASCAR team.
Yep.
Simple as that.
And this is from Video Games Chronicle. And they say, fandom has made the strategic decision to transition Giant Bomb back to its independent roots, and the brand has been acquired by longtime staff and content creators, Jeff Bakalar and Jeff Grubb, who will now own and operate the site independently. I am very curious on how much they spent to buy it. If it was like a penny, or if it was actually like an amount of money that they actually spent, or if it was just like a buddy, we're not doing anything with this, so pay us $1 and here you can have it. Like, I wonder.
Red flag from this is 2 people being in charge. I've never been in favor of 2 people being in charge of an organization. For me, it's one or it doesn't happen. You have to have a first. You have to have a second. You have to have regulars to be in and out, when they can. You have the loyalists to back you up, mods, people who are here time and time again, and then you have the audience. It's like the pyramid, folks. Aha, symbolism, the pyramid right here, or the other symbolism of the three. I always like my threes. Smash.
Yep.
That's why I have 3 sets of shows and 3 sets of regulars for each show.
It works for you though.
It does.
And that's probably why people like Jeff Grubb look at independent content creators as the opposition, because people are beating them at their own game and they have to use corporations to get ahead and then use names of brands that have been established to get the attention because they can't do it on their own. So
can you imagine if I did that, Smash? If I went corporate suit and tie and set up, and we have reality-based giant bomb, or reality-based second wind, or just reality-based their thing underneath.
I'm telling you, there is no market for this. This is basically kind of funny all over again, where it's like, sure, it's professional game journalism in the industry. So you can pander to the 38 people that give a shit about you guys. Like, it blows my mind that, like, again, I am very curious about where this goes, just to watch the downfall, because I know deep down this is not going to be successful. I just know. Very rarely am I confident on something like I am right now, but when I am, I got to say it. And I don't think this is going to do anything. I think this is going to spiral, and it will collapse onto itself, just like what you were alluding to with the dual ownership. The money will not be there, and there will be a fight, and it will all fall apart. Call it right now. Bulk Squat Thrust for the 5-banger says, no one read Giant Bomb for free, and now they think people will pay. Laughing my ass off. That's what I was trying to say. Who made that call?
Yeah, I know. It's literally the opposite these days. You speak your mind, you speak truth to power, you give your perspective, you resonate with people, and then once you've built like a core support base, then the content creation can turn into a creator enterprise. And if it goes viral and you've got the support of hundreds of thousands and a group of loyalists in the tens of thousands, then you become a creator-based corporation. Whether you're making comic books or whether you're a media outlet, that sort of thing. It's literally building a pyramid from the foundation up. And Giant Bomb is literally trying to build a pyramid from the top down using a corporate support base. It's not going to work. You don't start building a house from its roof.
Well, think about it like this, like from a content creator perspective, because I do feel like there's a lot of crossover with what's happening right now.
Mhm.
Imagine if I started my channel, it gained some momentum, and I got some attention, and I grew to what I am now. We'll say over 100,000 subscribers, and then for whatever reason, the environment changed, or there was some drama that happened with me, and everyone was like, fuck this guy, I'm unsubbing and I'm leaving, and my channel starts to spiral and it just fizzles out, and Smash JT as a brand just is dead. And then imagine, like a week later, all my buddies in the industry, I have Wario64 posting about me showing up at an event. I have Stealth posting about it. I have Video Games Chronicle writing an article about it, saying, hey, everyone, Smash JT is back. And if you want to watch him, you can pay money to watch him now. It's like, well, wait a second. Everyone left him and he died. Why would anyone pay money at this point? Like, that is the direct correlation of what's happening right now. Think about how ridiculous this sounds.
It's about as ridiculous as resurrecting a corpse.